Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode where we'll be discussing about Canberra and what is in for people who are buying into Canberra today. Teresa, what will we be discussing today?
Okay, so what we'll be discussing today will be actually on the North Region transformation that's going to happen. So just in August during the National Day rally, our PM Lawrence Wong actually shared with us what are the exciting things that's going to actually happen in the North. Mainly we are looking at Woodlands, Kranji and Sembawang.
So let's start with Woodlands, right? So Woodlands, the most exciting part is obviously the RTS link from JB to Singapore will be happening by end 2026. How does that do for the property market in the North area?
So for the RTS link to JB, it's actually going to have a very seamless transportation all the way into JB, and then it actually helps people to cut down on the timing to travel in, which is a lot of convenience. So for you guys who like to travel into JB, this will be perfect even if you are going in without a car.
But one of the major concerns for property investors would be if, let's say, there is more connectivity to JB, would that increase the more affordable housing in JB area and deter people from buying in the North area?
Actually, I still don't think it's going to deter people. In fact, it might actually attract more people coming in, because like, let's say if I'm nearer to the causeway, then I go and buy a JB property, but I'm a Singaporean, then how does it say it's about the ownership? These are some things that we are unclear about of what the government has in Malaysia. So if you ask me as a Singaporean, I would love to stay in Singapore, and have my own ownership in Singapore.
I see. And also because cost of living is a very huge factor among our property owners. So if let's say today you'll be staying in Tampines and now you want to go all the way to JB for more affordable groceries and stuff like that, that might kind of hinder you. And not forgetting that the price point in the in the North right now is so-called the entry price of the market. If you want something young, you want something that is, have a stronger chance of appreciation, the usual factors that we look for in a property, feel free to reach out to us, we can explain more. But if let's say today you want the entry price of a good property, then the North area is very attractive. And obviously the second one will be the expansion of the Woodlands checkpoint, so that will kind of increase the not so long of a traffic jam and all that. But 4,000 new HDB units. Can you share a little bit more about the concept of such a development going on?
So for these 4,000 new HDB units that will be coming up, they will be actually called housing by the woods and also waterfront housing. So it's basically trying to redevelop the North area to make it less of so much of the industrial kind or so ulu. Basically we are boosting the community there.
I used to be a Woodlands kid, right? And I realized the waterfront at Woodlands, that park is beautiful. So along that water area, right, you actually can get like, living by the water, you get like river view, you get, you're living by a lot of nature and stuff like that. So when you actually have housing that is more appealing, in terms of like if you want serenity, it attracts a certain group of people, increase the demand in the North, which brings up the price. But right now, because these are not available yet, so if you enter the market before such developments happen, right, where there is more HDBs that is being sold at a higher profit, that they can bring their profit and go to the private property, then this is the opportunity for you. But the next one will be obviously the flexible industrial spaces, where we increase businesses coming in. So families that's working or owning these businesses, that will increase the rental demand over here, salability and all that. Let's talk about Kranji. What's going to happen?
Okay, so for Kranji, it's formerly known as the Turf Club Race Course. So it's going to be redeveloped, that whole area, into 14,000 new homes, which is pretty massive. I mean, a normal HDB cluster is not going to be like in tens of thousands. It's usually like maybe a few hundreds to 1,000 there. But this is 14,000 new homes that we are actually looking at.
So one thing that comes to mind, I think at this point in the video, right, where people hear 4,000 new units, 14,000 new units, is that a lot of demand or not?
Okay, so for me, if you ask me, right, if the investor's point of view, 14,000 new homes, yes, it's really a lot. But you look at it from the point of a first mover advantage. When everything is still not available yet, developing, you actually have the first mover advantage. If you are the first to come in, while you enter at an entry price, a low enough entry price, as things start developing, everything will start raising in terms of the cost really.
Yeah, okay, so in terms of the elevation in prices, I think what Teresa is emphasizing is that construction cost, land cost is going to be higher and higher for the next few projects. So that could be the draw for investors. But also one thing that I want to bring home is that the affordability of things right now is getting higher. Not only your mortgage and housing needs that you have to spend money on, kids' education, food and other enjoyment. All this costs a lot of more money, and people are trying to go to JB to enjoy a better cost of living while still working in Singapore. If let's say you want the proximity to it, I think more and more people will be feeling that impact and moving towards the north. And if you're the first mover advantage, that could be the difference between like coming in now or coming in later. So the next one will be the Sungai Godot MRT interchange, right? So this is north-south and all the way to downtown line. We'll reach in town in no time right now with this MRT coming up. So obviously MRT effect, I think everybody know, most Singaporeans feel that with the MRT effect, it might support the prices as well. Could you share a little bit more about the nature integrated estate design?
Okay, so the nature integrated estate design is actually to complement the surrounding greenery, is to make it feel like you're well surrounded by nature, the serenity, everything that you get in that development, that area, the whole cluster.
Right. Okay. And then moving on to Sembawang. I mean, this is closer to Canberra. I think just now we were talking more towards like the Woodlands, Kranji area.
That's right.
But now we come back home to Canberra, Sembawang. What's going to happen to the former shipyard, which is right at the Sembawang beach?
Okay, so the former shipyard, which is also known as the dry dock, right, is currently going to be converted into the waterfront mixed-use hub. So for this mixed-use hub, is pretty interesting. It's going to be integrated.
Basically, I think what we only have an impression is, right, maybe we think about Punggol, where there's a waterway connecting to the different HDB estates or housing, and then it leads all the way to Waterway Point. It could be something like that, but it's in the making. So the moment they shift the shipyard away, and then now comes in a new waterfront living, right, what would drive up demand over here? Because at the end of the day, I think Singapore, most people feel that it's stressful, but it's also, competitive in nature. So sometimes you just want to be in a very relaxed mode, away from the hustle and bustle. So such waterfront living is very much appreciated. So that is what is coming up. And then obviously more housing, retails, dinings, event space is going to happen here. So what's the overall impact do you feel like, just to summarize, based on Kranji, Woodlands, Sembawang that we just went through? Okay,
so for like these three main areas in the north, the most important impacts, overall impacts we are looking at is actually the connectivity upgrades, whereby we have the RTS, the new MRT interchange and the checkpoint expansion. And then also with the 18,000 new homes in the north, this is like a significant kind of housing boost in the north region. And also like, for the special economic zones, we actually have more jobs and economic growth that will be going on in the north also. So it's not just like residential, it's going to be like a little bit more mature and developed in terms like we have jobs available there also. Usually our jobs are in like town area, we always travel up, but now we are creating even more jobs available in the north also.
And we just explained to you the far north transformation. Let's talk about Lentor, let's talk about Springleaf in our next episode. Thank you so much. If you're staying tuned all the way till this point, I believe that you are a serious investor. And if you are looking for more advice, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be so happy to just connect with you. So my name is Aaron once again.
I'm Teresa.
And we'll see you for the next one.